Patrick,
Yeah,
how are you, man?
good man. How are you doing? How you doing?
You're a little low. You have to increase your volume. Ade is going to join us.
What's up with the sound? I think we're having a bit of issue with the sound. Is there a delay on the sound?
No, no, you're live.
Yeah, but it's causing a bit of issues with the sound.
No, you're fine. I can hear you. There's no delay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you with a bit of a delay.
Okay, let me log back in. You're fine. Let me log back in.
Okay, grand. Okay. Guys in the comments, can you hear me? Okay, guys, can you hear me, or is it just me? Wait for a minute. I'm gonna have to change. Are you able to hear me, or is it still causing issues? Just tell me, somebody in the comments. I don't know what's happening, but I think now it's better. I have taken the mic off because I think the mic was causing a bit of an issue. I think it was.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Hey, let's go.
Cool. So,
Congratulations,
guys,
man.
what's the congratulations for?
Top of the league. Top of the league. All the media hype, all the nonsense, and we played a very good game. Should have won the game, but we'll take a point. We'll move on. 7 games left. Champions League. Let's go. Let's go. You know, Patrick, we still haven't lost this year to any of the big teams, except for Tottenham, right? But any of the top 3 teams. You know that? Are you live now? You're live, Patrick. Okay, you want to move? Okay, guys. So Patrick is moving. He wants me to keep talking, but hey, listen. What a game. What a game. Ali, yo, how are you, brother? It's good to see you. What do you think of the game? How do you feel after that game? Still top of the league, still rolling. Okay. Okay, let's wait for a few people to join us, and then we'll continue on. Yeah, my father-in-law just said Sterling will miss chances like that at this level. Yeah, I mean we love our ass, but 1v1. This is what we talk about all the time. You know, I'm talking to my father-in-law right now. He's an Arsenal fan. Been watching it for decades. Yeah, so I'm telling him, yeah, that's a problem. That's why we need a striker. We need a striker. So whenever I travel to Nigeria, I always like to go and see my father-in-law. We always end up watching a game, eating some food, drinking some wine. Yeah. So Patrick is going to join us in a minute. Ali, just give it a second for everybody to join. I'm just waiting for folks to join. Okay, so give it 1 minute. I think he dropped off, but let's give it a few minutes. Yeah, he may. I mean, Mahrez may play next game over Sterling. He may, because the finishing. I mean, 1v1. I mean, gotta finish that. You gotta finish that. Got to finish that. Yeah, what a game, Ryan. What a game. What a game. It was an amazing game. Breathless game. I mean, I remember at the beginning of the season, Brian and I talked about the fact that in July that the City and Liverpool are the two best teams in the league, and had a lot of my Chelsea fans arguing with me that, oh, they have Lukaku, they have this, they have that, Champions League. I said, no. Over 38 games, these two teams are perhaps the best in England, certainly in England, but also probably in Europe.
So give me 2 minutes. I'll just be in the background. So
Adam, I know where Patrick is. Patrick left. Hey, Adam, how are you?
yeah, I'm good. I'll be back. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. 1 second.
Okay, people are on right now. They're all commenting. So yeah. So yeah, what a game! Two best teams, absolutely look alike. Two best teams, and we really enjoyed that. That was amazing. Ali, are you in Manchester still? No, I'm not. Yes, I did return back to the USA, Ali. I did. I have to get back because I had my kid's birthday that I have to attend to, so I can't miss that for City. So unless I get in trouble, so I have to be back here for that. So I came back, but I left some good luck there in Manchester, which is why we hopefully we got the point. So. But yeah, I thought that game, man. We had chances to finish that game in the first half, 3-4, 3-4-1, easy in the first half. Hey, Adi, how now?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. We're just waiting
good.
for Patrick to join us. I don't know. He's says he's doing something.
No, I have managed. I have succeeded to find out what was wrong. It was quite the most silly thing you'd ever see. So when I was sitting up, I had the YouTube on. So the YouTube was doing echoes in my ear, so it was disturbing me.
Okay.
Or talking. Yeah. So what have you discussed so far? I see there's a lot of.
We can just go through the comments. Really, everybody just commenting on the right side.
Yeah, go ahead. Read the comments if you want.
I can't even see the comments.
Comments for.
Yeah, I see the comments now.
Yeah, Ryan Cole says, at least, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, two best. I mean, so Adi and I had this whole debate last summer, and we got a lot of flack for this, right? A lot of flack from after.
Yeah.
He said that Liverpool and City are not the two best teams. United, Chelsea, and we stuck with our guns. We believe that these two teams have shown over the past that they're the two best teams, and here we are today. Clearly, dominating the league points and the play.
I've always said it. I've said that City and the funny thing was I said this when Chelsea was leading the league, which is why I caught a lot of flack. Chelsea were leading the league. They were going on this run. Liverpool and City were still a little behind. And I was like, guys, calm down. The season just started. The two best teams in the league are Liverpool and Man City. At the end of the season, the two people that will be fighting for the league will be City and Liverpool and Man City. And they all thought I was crazy. And I knew exactly what I was saying. I was like, those two teams are built for a marathon. You can have little sprints, and that's why Chelsea always wins like competitions every once in a while. You can have little sprints where you'll be good, but managing a team over 80, how many games, 40 something games a season, it takes a different level of skill. And Liverpool and Pep have been the only ones that have kind of mastered out to do that. So I always knew it would be between these two teams.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
How are
it's
you?
true. It's true, and you know what? I have a few things. Obviously, I'm going to be the one who's going to be complaining, which I'm going to complain for the right reasons, not in a negative way, but I'm just going to complain because I feel we should have beaten them like 5-1, 5-2, and I feel we should put them out of the way in the first half. We are dying for killer in this team, and I think it's been showing. Yeah, but because what I saw today was like Liverpool are not better than Man City. As I said it before in the preview, they are being carried by the front. The front is carrying them. So the midfield doesn't have Onana anymore. They don't have control in the midfield. It's no longer a battle of the midfield. I think I said to you, Carl, that no longer a battle of the midfield in the early preview. It's just the fact that their front doesn't need more than one chance. They need just one chance, and the front will score. But I'm telling you, it's just that it's either we have a good day where Raheem will tap in, as I said earlier on, tapping boots have to be on, and it's either a day where we have to finish all those chances we made. So look, it was one of those days where we didn't finish, and it just shows that it's needed. Looking at somebody like Alvarez coming in is good thing. Haaland maybe coming in, potentially coming in is good. Even though Kane, we were laughing at him, I think Kane today could have been in those positions when De Bruyne put in the cross. But let's also talk about the amazing cross by Cancelo. Did everybody see that? Because everybody's raving about the pass by Mahrez, but did everybody see the Cancelo gave Jesus?
But you know, for me, Carl,
Go ahead,
for me,
go ahead.
the one was I don't know how Fabinho stayed on the pitch. Like literally, that he did two injuries, two tackles.
Let's talk about the topic that Patrick raised.
Right,
we'll come back to Fabinho. Let's address the topic that Patrick raises. Yeah.
Go ahead, Patrick. Sorry.
Oh no,
Cancelo's cross.
He was talking about the pass from Cancelo. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the game was brilliant. Like if we had a striker, we were definitely winning this game. If we had even Aguero, we're talking about Haaland, but if we had Aguero, this game is done and dusted.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to discredit Liverpool the way Patrick is. I mean, that's taken away from Liverpool's playmaking ability. You have to respect the fact that this team gives us competition every time we play them. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why, because they put you under pressure. So a lot of the mistakes you see isn't because our players just lost their head. It's because they're under pressure by a very good team. And Liverpool is actually learning to play City. And I realized it with this game. They're trying, because they know the midfield controls the game. If you lose the midfield and you let us run rampant, like you will have an ugly day at the office. So they're learning to play City, because years ago they didn't used to play City like this. All they did literally was lob the ball over every single time. If you watch our old games with them, they just lob the ball over. They don't really do that anymore. We were doing actually more of that today. We were playing direct. We were going over the top of their backline and feeding our strikers. We played a little different than we usually play other teams. So I think it's a game. It's a chess game between these two teams. It's very, very tactical. Very, very tactical. On the
tactics worked for Pep, though, isn't it? The tactic worked.
The tactics worked for Pep, and we, like you said, we would have won. But I think that was a brilliant save by Alisson. I mean, people say Sterling missed a chance. If Sterling was a striker, yes, he missed a chance. Sterling's a winger. Sterling missed. That was a brilliant save. Watch it again. He saves it with his leg. The one by Mahrez, I think, is a greater miss because Mahrez is more experienced and technical.
That was going to kill Liverpool fans. That was going to kill.
I mean, you chip the ball over. I was like, what are you doing? And then Jesus, that one where he could have made an extra pass to De Bruyne. I mean, all these little things, they add up. And, a 2-2 is a fair result for us. We should have won, but I think it's a fair result. I'll let Adam. Adam wants to say something.
Yeah, like what I was saying. Yeah, about Fabinho. I don't know how this man. That was one of the negatives in this game. How he was able to stay on the pitch. He should have had 2 yellow cards.
Thiago Silva too.
Yeah, and Thiago, not Thiago Silva. Wherever his name is, Thiago or wherever.
No, Thiago. Yeah.
Thiago and Fabinho.
Yeah.
For me, that was the only two negative of this game. But other than that, in my eyes, I still feel like this is a good result and it's an advantage to us in a sense. Because why?
Oh yeah.
Look at Liverpool's running. I'd rather be in our shoes, yeah, than Liverpool's. Look at our running. I think our next game is, Carl will probably correct me, but Liverpool's next 4 matches are Man United, yeah, Everton, yeah, Newcastle, Tottenham. And Everton is desperate. So what is to say?
And Adam, don't forget that in between those 4 games of Man United, Everton, Newcastle, and Tottenham, you have Bayern Munich possibly 2 times.
Thank you very much.
Right, and we have Brighton. I don't know, everybody in the basically
Because
12
before
and
that Brighton game, it was the Wolves game, but it got postponed. I don't know when they're going to change it to.
correct.
Which date?
Correct. It's probably going to be the same day that we play they play Aston Villa.
Probably.
Yeah, but listen, the reality is we're top of the league. We have 1 point and 7 games left. Would you bet against us winning the next 7 games? I wouldn't bet against us winning the next 7 games. I think we have the ability to do so, which is a good place to be for us. I mean, it's magnificent. Ade talks about the fact that in the midfield is important, right? And the reason why you see Thiago and Fabinho should have gotten red cards is because we dominated the midfield. Completely dominated the midfield. The issue was our finishing, as always. We don't have that natural striker who's able to kill goals in the box. An Alvarez, a Haaland is what we're looking at. We'll bury those chances. You bury the Alvarez that we watch, Patrick and I did, on a weekly basis. Give him that chance with the keeper, he buries it, man. He click.
Even the young kid Darwin Núñez would have probably scored that, to be honest with you, and he's clinical for his age, Darwin Núñez.
Right.
Let me just welcome. Let me just certify that car. You certified is here with us. Are you here?
Certified.
Just certified.
Yes, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Man. We can hear you. Welcome to the chat, man.
Oh man, guys, I don't know what to make of this result, man. I don't know how I feel, man, because at the end of the day, I felt like we played so good today, and I felt if we continue this way, I think we'll win the league. Like I think any team that we've got left, we play like this, we can blow. But we had to rely on a lot of things going wrong today, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I think we got a little bit unlucky as well with the decisions. Fabinho should have been sent off. Who was it? Thiago should have got a second yellow card. Obviously, Sterling, I felt like if you looked at it closely, I thought he was kind of onside, to be honest. Maybe he was a little bit offside the lines, but
he was offside. He was offside.
He was offside that one, to be honest with you.
He was offside.
It was kind of like Lukaku's one.
Look at that.
That one, I don't know how that wasn't a red.
Yeah, I don't know what VAR was doing here. I think the guy, because I'm not going to blame the ref for not.
You know why? It's because it's not Granit Xhaka. If it was Granit Xhaka,
VAR should take a look at this. But then, guys, let's be honest though. We don't want to beat this team on 10 men. I don't want that. I don't want to because then there will always be that little cloud over City. Oh, the reason City won is because they had 11 men. They had 10 men. We don't want to beat. We want to beat them mano a mano. Mano a mano. They come on the field. We beat them. That's what we want. We don't want this. Yes, that should have been a red. I'm not discounting that. I'm saying that should have been a red. Well, if it's a red, we win the game easily. And then it's not really a competition. There's nothing to measure the two teams on, because when you meet again, it won't be the same. They'll play 11 men. You play 11 men. Yes, that was a red card, but I like the fact that it didn't end 10 against 11. It ended 11-11. We should have won. If we were more clinical, we win that game. We had Haaland. We don't even have Haaland. I keep saying Haaland. Haaland's the best of the best right now. We have a decent striker. A decent striker is a win. So it's like, there's a lot of positives to take away, and there's a lot of there's a negatives too. There's negatives too. The way they scored their goals, come on.
Poor defending.
That was sloppy defending.
Come on.
Great by Salah. Great pass by Salah. Cam, welcome. We have Cam.
Patrick, who caused the second goal? Was actually Edison that started that problem. Because Edison started with possession. And what we normally do is we build the play through the back 3 and a 2 and a 2 and the front 3, right? He launches the ball forward, gives possession to Liverpool. They come down the right side and they score a goal within 45 seconds. It's on him because they made the wrong decision. Why are you kicking the ball 40 yards when nobody's up front? Why are you losing possession? But I won't.
He was
focus
better off just kicking it out if he was going to do that.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the positives. It was a great game from two great teams. Cam is right here. We called it 2-2 in the preview, right, Cam? I think we did. I think we both called it 2-2. Great game. You can't just hold your hand up and you say 90 minutes of fulfillment of good football by two great teams that we called ever since July.
Okay, well, welcome, come, and everybody. Ryan, City, go. How you doing, Big Morgan, Ali? Everybody comments. Don't worry. We're looking at your comments. We're getting your comments on. So come. We have you as our Liverpool representative, and unfortunately, we've got City fans. But before we have more of the City fans talk, we want to hear from you. How did you see the game? And do you think the 2-2 is a good result for you or a good result for City?
A win would always be a better result. I think we discussed this in the preview, where I said the breath on the neck. As long as that breath on the neck is still there, it's not the end of the world. So the Etihad is a very difficult place to go for any team, and styles make fights. And I think Pep has figured out. Pep historically, his record against Klopp is 50-50 generally. Klopp wins 50% of them. Pep wins 50% of them. But I'm starting to see that Pep's made some adjustments, which is neutralizing our ability to dominate the play and minimize how explosive we can be. Regarding the game, listen, I don't want to use the word fugazi. Man City were the better team, right? But it's for me, it's slightly an illusion because of the way they recycle the ball constantly. Teams don't get the ball for 5, 10, 5 minutes at a time. Man City were the better team because they keep the ball. The other team has less of the ball. But when you talk about getting a prolific striker, the XG was 1.2 versus Liverpool's 1.22. The big chances were Man City 2, Liverpool 3. I'm not sure a Haaland would have made much difference here, perhaps, but I don't think that was the issue. I think your final ball was ultimately the problem, not the finisher. But I mean, having a world-class striker, maybe different balls are played, and so on and so forth.
I hear you, Cam, but I think the argument, the challenge of the argument is we watched 3 chances that we know and Erling Haaland buries, and he buries it. I mean, the Sterling 1v1, Erling Haaland buries it. It's just no question. 1v1 with the keeper, he kills that. He blindfolded.
Alisson is the best one-on-one goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah, but it's Erling Haaland. Erling doesn't miss. He does. I mean, this guy has a 98% conversion rate in the box, right? Sure. 90% throughout 4 years. He doesn't miss. He doesn't.
Well, does he make the same movement as Sterling?
He has better movement than Sterling.
I think we're going a bit too far. I don't think it's and then we'll let everybody get a word in. It's not really the fact that you guys are talking about the clear-cut chances that the player has with the ball. That's not what a striker gives you. A striker's main goal is knowing where to be positionally when there's a guy on the wing that might cross the ball in. And because Aguero did that brilliantly. Aguero is not Haaland. Aguero is tiny, but he knows where to be. There were a lot of balls that came across their box 18 and nobody touched them because they're wingers. They're not strikers. And when we talk about having a striker, that's the mentality that comes with a striker. Benzema.
Can I just counter that slightly? I agree with you, but I think the one variable you're excluding from that is how the defense also reacts to a Haaland. So it's not like you're playing against holograms, right? Where Haaland will then make the run and Van Dijk will behave and Matip will behave exactly the same way as they would against a Sterling or thing. Different players, I mean, they've got all this video technology. We would study him, we'll move differently. Haaland is arguably one, if not the best. So go on.
I do have a thought, and I thought about this the other day, that even if Haaland comes, Patrick and Cam and Ade and Giuseppe, I still think we'll play the false 9 system, but Haaland would just be the false 9 who pops up and scores the goal. So if you watch the way Real Madrid played Chelsea, for example, 2 days ago, last week, Benzema was playing in a false nine position. He was one dropping deep. Kane drops deep playing for Tottenham. I think the era of having that number 9 forward, who's that number 9, who's going to stay up there and score a goal, is over. I think if Haaland even comes to City, he plays the same system. The difference is when he gets on the end of that goal, he scores. He doesn't miss 1v1s, right? When you have that Mahrez trying to chip Alisson, he scores that, right? He doesn't miss that. The efficiency of the scoring is different from what Sterling and Mahrez can provide as wingers as opposed to him.
Can I just make a counter just very quickly?
Yeah.
What makes City, I think, is that false nine with the ability to even recycle the ball right at the top. I don't think Haaland's all-round play is anywhere close to Foden's, for example, I don't know how to make this. So he will obviously score more goals, but I do think that you will lose something unless Pep has time to work with him and improve his all-round game. He's a battering ram rather than a cute sort of round the corner, touch, move, that sort of stuff, which is why it's so difficult to play against City because you don't have the ball for 5 minutes. And perversely, I thought, although your all-round play was a lot better, you had more touches in the box than us, I thought both our goals were superior footballing goals than the 2 goals you scored, perversely. But as I said, two world-class teams, sometimes when you pray, what's the movie? I forgot now. When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud. And I was hoping to come out with something out of that game. And, we march on, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what it is, guys?
You said it first.
I agree with what you're saying, good Lord, because at the end of the day, right, with Haaland, I think he can get linked in the system, especially with Pep coaching him. But at the end of the day, if we are to give something away, it will be maybe control. Maybe we might concede more goals. But I think Diaz coming in has kind of even that kind of out. So I feel like maybe if Haaland comes in, I don't see Cancelo starting anymore because I think that Cancelo defensively, like if we just went all out attack, I think he'll probably.
I thought he was good today, certified. Cancelo was really, really good today. I think what I found interesting today, what I loved was when City were building up the play, Bernardo Silva formed part of the back three, which I found was really, which means that when Liverpool pressing high with a 3, we had a 4 to always have that extra man to pass the ball in order to build the play up. So Bernardo wasn't playing false 9, he wasn't playing as a number 8, he was playing more as a false 6, just in and out between Rod. Yeah, exactly. It was really, and these are the reasons why we love these two games, these two teams, because when they play, you always see these tactical insights that you didn't see before. Cancelo playing the left, but being the one who's crossing the ball for Jesus. Bernardo dropping deep. Kevin's role as a free number 10 around the whole field in transition. It was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. And Liverpool played well too, to be fair to them. Just a great game for the English game, really.
It was really good, man. I mean, today, people are going to say that obviously we dropped and we should have won, and obviously we should have. But at the end of the day, I remember that obviously we went ahead, then they scored, then we went ahead, then they scored. But the Anfield game was like that as well. They scored, we came back. They scored, we came back. So it's literally it's a mirror of a game. So now what we have to do is just go and beat the teams that we've got left. And hopefully we can win on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday or Tuesday? I'm not really sure when we're playing Atletico, but Wednesday. So hopefully we can win on there and then just go that FA Cup and win there. But obviously the Premier League you're looking at those games. I'm not sure. I think Wolves has been moved back.
It's been moved. Wolves has moved somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. So two home games next, Brighton and Watford. So. Yeah, we need to win those games.
So where do you see this going, guys? I'll start off with you, Ade. Where do you see this going with these fixtures left?
I think we have a better run of fixtures just based on the games left. They have more difficult opponents, but then all these relegation teams. I don't know who we're playing. Let me see. I'm looking. Okay, Brighton usually is tricky, but I think we have Newcastle West Ham might be tricky game, and then Aston Villa. Yeah. Might also be tricky. They have Aston Villa. They have Newcastle. They have Spurs. I think Spurs game is going to be especially difficult for them because Spurs is trying to get back in top 4. So I don't know. It's anybody's guess as to how this will end, but I still think City's run of games is a bit manageable than Liverpool's.
Yeah, I mean it's
What
7
about
games,
them,
1
Adam,
point.
before you go? Adam, before you go.
Yeah. For me, you know which other game I feel like is going to be a bit difficult is because Everton are still not safe in my eyes. Basically, if say Burnley and Watford winning their games, and Everton are failing to, Everton will give them a tough game. Even if it's a draw, Everton will
But it's
probably be happy with the
Everton
draw.
sucks. Everton sucks.
yeah, Everton terrible, man. They're terrible, man. Everton are terrible.
Well, probably Man United if they want to get top 4, but Man United are unpredictable.
Man United
Man
is
United-
all talk.
United
They're
are
going to
terrible.
get to the game and then
Man
Liverpool.
United are predictable. They're going to get predictably beaten up by Liverpool.
Yeah, they will. Like if you can get beaten by Everton, come on. What do you think
we
of these
will-
games?
We will beat Man United, Everton, Wolves. We will beat Spurs as well. My
Wolves,
worry is on the away
remember
team.
we all won by 1 goal and we saw both struggled with Wolves.
I think personally, both teams will more than probably win both sets of games by hook or crook. But all we can hope for is that you've had 4 or 5 blank games where you scored no goals. You have one of those days where we are lucky, where you're very unlucky, but we're very lucky, and you draw 1 game, because that's the only difference. I don't really put more stock into the rest of the fixtures, and this isn't an arrogant position, but our 2 clubs are so far ahead of everybody else that I don't particularly worry about the running, and I presume you guys don't worry about your running.
Well, I disagree a little bit. I don't look at games like that. I don't look at games that because they're unpredictables that you cannot predict. Somebody might just have a crazy moment and make a stupid challenge, and it's a red card that changes the game. So those things are unpredictable, and when you throw that into the equation of the remaining fixtures, because all things being equal, if you had an ideal situation, you are absolutely correct. Ideal situation, both teams win, maybe draw 1, but ideal doesn't work in football. Anything can happen, and a player could be sent off, and that changes the game.
But
And
you're basing your opinion on hope rather than probability, right? So I've looked at the football XG, the football predict probability by I forgot that. I'll remember it now. Like Liverpool are on like between game to game between 70 to 85% probability to win each of these games. You're right. There's always that variable, but because Liverpool cut the pitch in half and live in the other team's half, it's more likely that the other team get a red card, the other team give a penalty away, and so on and so forth.
I don't agree with that. That's not even remotely correct. Just because they cut the field in half, because they cut the field in half, actually is more likely that if the other team gets a transition, they're likely to foul that guy in transition and get a red card. So I did probability too. I don't think probability gives you, and I don't. That's why I don't really. You can't put a lot of stock in probability, X goal, XG, all this. Football is played on the field. Anything can happen. Sure. Walker got a red card for being an absolute idiot for kicking out somebody, and now we're missing him in Champions League. Those things you can't account for. And if you throw that into an equation, it's game on for any team.
No, I agree with you, but I think football isn't as random as you probably think it is. You're right.
I think that the X factor here is that there are 7 games to go. We both have Champions League games coming up. Hopefully, Liverpool win their game and Bayern Munich win their game. Now Liverpool have to play Bayern Munich in the midst of United, Everton, Newcastle, and Tottenham. City may have to play Real Madrid or Chelsea, one of the two, in between Brighton, Watford, Leeds, and whoever is below. These things can cause differences in how the team approaches things. It really can. Do I back both teams to win all their games? Probably, given history and the past. They both can. It is what it is at this point, right? It's an interesting run-in, and at some point, the late April, early May, it's going to get squeaky bum time when you throw in Champions League games in between that as well. So it's.
I think both teams are so deep in squad that the probability is that I think both teams will cope with both domestic work and European. But you're right. If Liverpool get a Van Dijk injury or a major injury somewhere, I can't legislate for that. But I think both teams are so good that would you be surprised ultimately if both of them won the 7 games?
No. They've done it before. Did it 2 years ago.
Exactly. Right? So I think that's, and I'm hoping rather than knowing that City will drop some point somewhere because they're a phenomenal football team. Sorry.
I mean,
I can see. Beta Game says, don't the same probabilities better favor City if yes, Liverpool don't win the league? Correct. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think the probabilities probably favor City better because of the run of games we have.
Well, this is why the bookies have City, right? That's why they have. They use probability.
If basing it on what I forget his name. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Is it
Cam? Is it
Cam?
certified?
If we're basing it on what Cap says, Man City have the better probability to win the league.
Sure, you have probably 65%. We have a 35%, give or take.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just me. I don't take any stock in it because
I don't know. Adam with you. I'm not saying to be honest with you guys, there's twists and turns here. People will be heartbroken if people didn't look. Fair play to all the guys who are looking at these. I know we've done it, and the teams have done it, but I just think some of these teams are too desperate. Like some of these teams just want to prove things. Like Newcastle is playing good and they're playing very amazing football. Bruno is amazing.
Absolutely.
And we both have Newcastle, we both have Watford. Even Watford, who suck, is now better. Everton, yeah, the football is bad, but you never do.
Even Leeds are playing better.
Leeds are playing better. West Ham away is not easy, even though we win. Wolves, regardless, it's been moved. Wolves is going of us. I just see there's a lot of stuff here that I'm just thinking it's not going to be as easy for everybody.
I'm not saying there's a 0 probability chance of any of those teams taking points of any of us clubs. I just think that it's the probability. It's more likely that City win all their games and Liverpool win their games. It might be that we draw, you draw a couple games here or there. It happens. But as we said on Friday, we're both 90 plus point teams. So there's not going to be that much being dropped. I think that's the point I made.
I can agree with that.
Okay, cool. So Ryan says, I am confident that City will win the remaining games. I think City win if Man City keep winning. Yeah, that's quite clever, Ryan. For me, guys, let me ask a question to you, Carl. Since you're about to go, Carl, Ade, and G Certified. This is a question for you. Cam mustn't answer. Has got 6 of them, guys. If we fail at the end and Liverpool manage to somehow win this Premier League and we end up with the Champions League, how are you going to start with you, Carl?
Is that a serious question, Patrick? Is that a serious question?
No, yeah, it is. Yes, I mean, you honestly, I want to hear that if it happens somehow where Liverpool managed to get the Premier and then we are back in the final again, we've won the final, now we have the Champions League. What are you going to say for the rest of the season?
So here's what I would say. Here's what I would say, right? If Liverpool win the Premier League and City win the Champions League, I'm going to go over to my friend who's a Liverpool fan who lives 10 miles from me. We're going to sit down, we're going to order a very hot suya, a case of beer, and we're going to celebrate both together. Okay? That's exactly what we're going to do. Okay? Let's be clear.
If they win the Champions League, I mean, that's what they've been at. We've won
let's be clear. In fact, I would invite Ade. Ade lives like 10 miles from me. I'm going to invite Ade to join me with my friend who's a Liverpool fan. We're going to sit down, grill some lovely ribs, have a case of beer and wine, champagne, and we're both going to celebrate each other's wins.
I think that's what they've been after. So I think it's okay if they win the Champions League and Liverpool wins the league. We've won the league 3 of the last 5 years, so I don't think losing the league is going to.
I mean, what I enjoyed, I was watching the post-match show I did here in the US, and what I enjoyed, the moment I enjoyed, where I saw Klopp and Guardiola chatting right before the interview with NBC. I don't know if you saw that, where they were chatting, laughing, closing hands, or hugging each other. They even looked up to the camera together, right? The respect that both teams have for each other, I think, it's a good thing for the Premier League brand. You don't have this Jose versus Pep or Arsenal versus Ferguson issue of, there's a healthy respect for each other. So for me, if we get that, I'm roasting some ribs, man, and some lamb.
What about G certified? What about you, G?
Bro, that's right, bro. I was just trying to unmute. Now, if we win, oh my days. If we win the Champions League, I'm gonna go to an Arsenal fan and I'm gonna sing "Champions of Europe." You'll never see. You know what I'm saying? If we do that, but now the real one. If we win the Champions League, it's a good season. It's more than a good season. And to be fair, we're still in the FA Cup. If we win the Champions League, FA Cup, are we gonna complain? Nah, I don't think we are. It's still a good season. Obviously, this league
hard,
title.
That's hard, man. It's hard. That's hard.
The only thing about this league is that we've got a chance possibly to win 4 out of 5 league titles, and that would be kind of like what Man United did, and I think that would show a real kind of.
That would draw a line in the sand of us being the most dominant team in the last, I don't know last 10 years. I mean, if we did win the 4 out of 5, that would. But I mean, like if we win the Champions League, no one's gonna remember the league after that. They're gonna be like,
the funny thing is that I'm actually more nervous about the away game on Wednesday than I was about this game. It's weird. I don't know why. Maybe it's my own brain working overtime. We just have to win that game on Wednesday.
And I make an observation just about.
Go ahead.
So, for me, the Champions League is always the biggest trophy you can win in club football. Maybe I'm a plastic fan. I don't know, but that's my own perception. And I think if you did win the Champions League and not the league, you could take consolation that you lost it to an equally very good side. You didn't lose it to a Leicester or a one of those other teams that won the league. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. You're up against a very good competitive team that is equally as good in some respects. So no shame in that. We lost by 1 point, and people try to laugh at me about it. I'm like, we got 97 points. We lost against a team which, hasn't been around for 30, 40, 50 years. So there's no shame in that. Second of all, just on your point about why you're nervous about the Wednesday game, I think subconsciously, deep down, you probably know the Champions League is probably the pinnacle of club football, and therefore the knockout, the one mistake, that there's nothing like it in the Champions League.
I think for me, it's more about the fact that we haven't won it yet, as opposed to being the pinnacle. I think the Premier League demonstrates that you're truly the best team in the league, no doubt.
That's it.
The Champions League is 7 games and you're a champion, which is not representative of your strength, in my opinion. But I just want to get it over and done with. I want to go
get that monkey off your back. But there's a little bit of mythology around certainly when City win it, they're arguably the best team that wins it. But for example, the Leicester team that won it on expected points, they were the 4th best team in the league. So there's a bit of mythology around the best team always wins the league. It is
but Leicester was an anomaly when we look at the distribution of.
But there are other examples as well, going back early 2010s. So the Chelsea team that won it, they were broadly on XPTS, the same as the Man City team. When Pep Guardiola came in his first season, you finished 3rd, but on XPTS, I'm pretty sure you were joint 1st. So you don't always get what you deserve in the league. There is an element of randomness and luck there as well, less so than the Champions League. But I do think Barcelona can't win the Premier League. Madrid can't win the Premier League. Munich can't win the Premier League. Therefore, it can't be the pinnacle of.
Well, I think the difference is that if you had a proper league format, like the ESL was proposed to have, which you have teams play each other over 10 games, then it's undoubtedly clearly the best of the best. But in a cup, for Chelsea, for example, right? Chelsea played Atletico Madrid, they played Porto, and they played a poor Madrid side, and they got to the final. And it was one game. Guardiola doesn't play defensive midfielder. They win the game 1-0. It's gone. Are they the best team in Europe, in the world? Well, Champions League says so, but where are they now? They're 15 points behind both of us.
The best team always win the Champions League, though. Even Liverpool won it while they were in a bad position, isn't it? You won the
Right, they
Champions
were
League while you were
fourth
the
or fifth. So
No, but when we won the Champions League, we finished second by 1 point. There's a strong argument to say we were the best team in the world. This Chelsea team, Liverpool won it in 05. No Liverpool fan thinks Liverpool were the best team in the world. I think there's a combination of factors. So if City win the Champions League and the league, no doubt, best team in the world, no dispute. Even if they don't win the Champions League now, there's an argument for City being the best team in the world. But I do think the Champions League is the pick. In every other country, in every other league, I think Bullet said it. He said one league equals 3 Champions League. Sorry.
Again, it depends on. For me, it depends on what. Like for me, I mean, obviously the Champions League is massive, right? And I want to win it because I want to make sure we get one at least. But if we lose all the Premier League titles that we have and only one Champions League, I'm not happy because it doesn't show that you're dominant in your local domestic league. You have to be dominant. Even the great Liverpool manager, what's his name? Can't remember his name. Said that the most important thing for you to do is to win your domestic league, which you have to do.
But it's a bit outdated now, I think, with the so for example, Madrid won 4 Champions Leagues in 5 years, and that same period, I don't think they won the league.
Yeah, but even Zidane and Pep said that the domestic league is the most important thing. They've said it countless.
There's a question though. How you will say with the man at the bottom left? I think he's agreeing with the fact that the Champions League is big. So here is Better Games. I'm an international fan, so please tell me what is better celebration? They won for the EPL or Champions League when the team back from home?
Depends on the team. Depends on the team. For City fans, right? The old fans, they like the Premier League. They love it because they never had won the Champions League. Maybe if they win the Champions League, that would change. For Liverpool fans, it's massive. They've always won. They won 6, right? So they always know how to express that. So it depends.
I'm pretty sure. Look, I'm pretty sure. Regardless, City fans who vocal and say they prefer the Prem, they do. Everybody prefers the Prem. It's the bread and butter. But I'm pretty sure if the Champions League shows up, people go crazy. The thing is, if you've never, I don't know if you can agree with me here. If you've never won something, you always say, who cares? It's better the Prem. But remember, when they won the Premier League, went crazy. This 93-20 is always on everybody's tattoo and everything. I'm telling you, if City win the Champions League, people have that taste now. They'll have the taste for Europe, and now we're having this Europe talk. Just watch. If it ever happens, watch the tweets go to Europe talk now.
The funny thing about this is that this game today, we may play each other twice more. Right? That's the funny thing about this game today is that we may be blessed to play this game, well, at least one more time, definitely, right? And next Saturday, right? And then maybe one more time in May.
Yeah.
Or June, right?
I don't know. I'm listening to the conversation, and I think, I don't know, in my opinion, I feel like we're mixing things up. Champions League is the most prestigious. Yes, that goes without saying. It's the most prestigious to win. But it doesn't mean the best. The best team, more than not, wins your domestic league than the best team winning the Champions League. Because there are too many anomalies that can take place in the Champions League because there are not enough games to judge who's the better team. You're playing a team twice and then you move to the next level. You play them twice, you move to in the champion in your regular league, you're playing teams. You'll play one team maybe this month, and then you don't play that team again next month. In between, you're strategizing how to play other teams in between. So you really have to think about game to game what you're doing with the different teams you're facing. You're facing so many teams. You have to play your best game. And so while the Champions League is the pinnacle, it's the most prestigious. I don't think the best team always wins that more than the best team winning the league. And that's just the difference.
If it was the best team, then Man City would have won a couple Champions Leagues.
That is absolutely correct.
But I would say something about the Premier League. And again, I don't want to dismiss, and I'm going to troll a little bit here as well on 2 points. One, so I'll just pre-warn you about the trolling. 90% of the league is cannon fodder to Liverpool and Man City. Two.
Oh, Cam, real quick, let me add 1 point. So is it 3 and below that's cannon fodder, or is just
most of the league is cannon? When you get 90 plus points or 100 points, and Liverpool haven't been playing well and grinding results out. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, we try to romanticize about the Premier League, but we talked about the bell curve, and on Friday, we're at a level now where most of the Premier League is somewhat cannon fodder for City and Liverpool. Yes, we might drop a point here or there. It will happen. But generally speaking, and second of all, I say this to all City fans, and I'm doing it with a smirk, so please forgive me. But how do you know which one is better until you win it?
Hey man, that's true. That's true. But at the end of the
Ask
day,
me.
Yeah, like at the end of the
You've won it. You've won it several times. You've won it 6 times. So yeah, that's a fair thing to say. I think. So that would be from a fan's perspective. A fan's perspective can say, yeah, you don't know how it feels until you win it. But we're talking about we're analyzing the team and we're analyzing what managers do. It's different. When you're analyzing what we have to do to win the Champions League, I think a lot of luck plays that. There's a lot of luck that has to be involved in winning the Champions League. It's not just being technically sound and being the best team. Because like you just said, the best team doesn't always win.
Yeah, but the final, you can't legislate for Pep Guardiola with all his geniuses. That wasn't bad luck. That was bad management, ultimately, in that final.
Oh, no, there's no doubt about that.
No. It's bad management because it didn't work. If it worked, we wouldn't. So we can always Monday morning quarterback. It's very easy from a fan's perspective. We do it a lot. We know how to manage. We know how to manage teams after the game has been played. Because if he played the game and it worked out the way he wanted, which is controlling more of the ball without playing with the center, without it would have been. Oh, he's a genius. He's been playing all this while without a number 9, and they are waiting for the one time he loses to say, "Oh, he doesn't have a number 9."
No, but
so
what's really weird,
it's real easy to manage teams after the game has been played.
What's really weird about what Pep did, who's a genius, arguably going to go down as the greatest manager of all time, is everybody thought he had learnt from his lesson from the season before, and up to the final, he was playing solid teams. And then for some reason, he decided, I mean, when I saw the lineup on my birthday, I instantly thought, this is trouble for City. I didn't want Chelsea.
Cam, we all did. We absolutely all did. I mean, Ade will tell you that day, a year ago, when we saw the lineup, we were like, oh, shit, this guy's done it again. But here's what we realized real quick, right? The reason he did that, right, was because he wanted to play Raheem Sterling. The only reason he did that, and the only person he could drop to play Raheem Sterling was the Fernandinho or Rodri. Can't drop Foden, can't drop De Bruyne, can't drop Mahrez because they were banging in goals. The reason he dropped those two was to play Raheem Sterling. And Raheem Sterling 1v1, as I've talked about many, many times, is not the person you want at all. And here we are. In fact, Pep even said in a press conference a couple of months ago that he didn't do, I made some mistakes and didn't do enough preparation for that game. Quote, end quote. So, but we are where we are.
Can I just say on Raheem Sterling very quickly? His XG and his goals are broadly in line. Same as Salah, same as Mane, actually. Their XG and goals. He's just not a world-class finisher. So
I agree.
He won't outperform his XG. He's not as bad as I think some City fans where I talk to. Oh no, why did the chance fall to him? He's a proficient one-on-one. Looking at his numbers, he's proficient against his XG. It's just he's not Haaland, who, as you said, he's an insane finisher. But you expect that from a wide forward, right?
Yeah.
Salah misses some crazy shots.
Yeah.
But it's because I think I looked at the stats. Liverpool create generally a lot more big chances than City do. We're more explosive and our XG is higher. So he gets more chances to redeem himself. But Sterling is a very good player. And I think had Pep played that DM, you'd be singing Champions of Europe to Arsenal fans. You'll never win that. But
on that note, guys,
it's gonna come.
Just certify. Go ahead. So before we close, just certify. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying. I think it's gonna come very soon. That Champions League. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, man. Obviously, both competitions are both like different in different ways. Like, obviously, different fans are gonna feel differently about it. But I just feel, as we've talked about, the Premier League is kind of like no team, like no club would be seen as dominant as they are without many league titles, just like the Champions Leagues. Like if you look at the Man United and Liverpool comparison, for example, Liverpool fans are going to go more, unless they get the 20th league title this season, they in the past would have said more Champions Leagues. While obviously United are going to say, obviously they've got the Champions League, but it's more of the domestic success why they feel that they're bigger than Liverpool. So I think it works both ways. Obviously, if we win one, yeah, that would be good, but I still think Man City fans will still say our domestic success kind of outweighed that Champions League. The Champions League, we only want to win it so rivals can respectfully stop saying what they're saying right now, obviously, with no Champions League, but that's why I think we want to win
Put the league medals on the table. That's all I'm pretty sure everybody wants to do, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So what about are they any final thoughts or
No, it's a lively discussion. I know we're about to end. I think both teams, Liverpool and City are just playing at top level right now, and it's really hard to compete with those guys. In Champions League, right now it's kind of shaping up that, I think Liverpool is definitely going through. Hopefully City can get there with them, and, maybe Madrid, and who knows what's going to happen with the Bayern Villarreal game. But, I think that's going to be a tougher competition this year because the teams remaining are really, really solid.
Yeah, that's true. The teams are not easy. People are thinking the teams are easy. What about Cam and any last words before we close
Carl,
up?
if you want to go first, Jen.
So Cam, go ahead. You're our guest. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very kind. Any last thoughts? I didn't think we would win the City game. So for me, I think it is as we were, and we came out with what I hoped for. So I think it's going to be an interesting last month and a half. I am genuinely worried about City because I do think that when you keep the ball as much as you guys do, it is very difficult to beat a team like that. So Champions League and League, I make you guys the favourites. FA Cup, I think there's more variables, and I think there'll be less of a intensity for perhaps the FA Cup. But yeah, I'd make you favourites for both Europe and League at the moment.
And from me, everyone, thanks for joining us today. Patrick, myself, G Certified, Ade, and our great guest, Cam from Liverpool. One of the few Liverpool fans that I know who are sensible and I enjoy talking to. So there's more to come. Tuesday night, we're all Madrid fans.
Don't start. Don't start. Where's Ty? Ty, let's get for the next preview. Let's get Ty on because I want to hear Ty's feeling on Madrid beat. Because remember we asked him Chelsea. You're a fan of both. So what happens? I want to see his emotion. Yeah. Is he happy? Madrid beat. Okay, so come. We've got a guy Ty, right? Is Carl's friend. He Chelsea fan and a Madrid fan. So now we want to hear from him that what if Chelsea lost, happy that Madrid won. I want to hear from Ty. So get Ty on.
Yeah, we'll do a show tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Monday, so we'll do a show tomorrow to talk about Champions League games coming up this week and maybe the FA Cup. We'll see if we have time to do that. So look out for that from Patrick and myself. Till then, guys, Patrick, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, G Certified, Adam, Cam, Carl, as always, a pleasure. Ade, always enjoyed your company, guys. So, guys, even in the comments, Harry Mails, Vector Games, B, Ryan, Go City, all of you, Big Morgan, and was there, Ali. Just thank you very much, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Take care, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Take care, guys.